Okay, it says simplify. So on number 1, inside the parentheses there is nothing that you can solve because you do not know how much A is, so I cannot add 2 to this term. Whenever that happens, and I can't solve this in here, you have to distribute the 3 out here to both terms, and you have to use multiply. So I'm going to do 3 times 4A, and I'm going to do 3 times 2. So 3 times 4A. They have a plus, so I bring a plus. 3 times 2. Right here, I ignore the variable to begin with, and I just multiply what I can. I get 12, and I bring the A with it. Bring down the plus. That works out to be 6. So number 1 is 12A plus 6. That cannot be simplified any further because these are not like terms. The 6 does not have an A, so I cannot add the 12 and the 6. Number 2, same scenario. I cannot work this in here, so I'm going to take this negative 3 to both terms by multiplying. I'm going to work negative 3 times 4B. They have a subtract sign, so I bring it down. Now I'm working negative 3 times 2. Okay, so right here, I'm going to multiply the negative 3 times 4 to get negative 12. I bring down the B with it. They had a minus sign, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. Now I have to work negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Now whenever you're having signs besides signs, it's good to separate it with parentheses. To get this to be in the very simplest form, it would be negative 12B. A minus, a negative is the same thing as a plus 6. Number 3, I'm going to distribute this 3 to both terms. So 3 times 3C plus 3 times 2. They have a plus, I keep the plus. 3 times 2. Okay, right here, I multiply 3 times 3 to get 9. Bring down the C. They have a plus, I keep the plus. 3 times 2 is 6. So 9C plus 6. Number 4, I cannot work inside here, so I'm going to distribute 1/2 times 6Y plus 1/2 times 10. Whenever you're getting half of something, you can just divide it by 2 to get half of it. So 1/2 of 6Y is 3Y. 1/2 of 10 is 5. So 3Y plus 5 is the answer of number 4. Okay, next it says evaluate each expression if A is equal to negative 2 and B is equal to 3. So whenever they give you values to go fill in, you should write it down so that you can see what you're doing. So negative 2 times 3 plus 12 would be like doing negative 6 plus 12 is just 6. On number 6, it says to do 6 times 3 plus 2 times 5. Well, that gives me 18 if I multiply. So 18 plus 2 is 20 for the whole parentheses right here. 20 times 5 is 100. Number 7 says to do 6 times 3 divided by negative 2. This part gives me 18, so 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9. On number 8, it says to take the value of B, so that's 3, minus A. A is a negative 2. Now I haven't written down the negative part yet, so even though there's a minus down here, I have to write negative 2. That is the same thing as 3 plus 2, which is 5. The bottom says write an algebraic expression for each expression. Remember, you should go in the order that it's written unless it has a turnaround phrase. Number 9 says the quotient of 12 and a number. Quotient is a key word telling me to divide. So there's no turnaround phrase. I'm going to keep it in this order. 12 divided by the number that I don't know, so I have to pick a variable like x. You might have written it a different way. So if I put 12 divided by x using a fraction bar, that is also okay. Or even, some of you might have used a divide like a slash. All of those are okay. Number 10, 7 less than a number. Underline or circle, stand out, highlight that less than is a turnaround phrase. So instead of putting 7 minus a number, I got to turn it around and put 7 at the back. I don't know what this number is, so I have to use a variable like x. Number 11, the sum of a number and 8. Sum is telling me to add 8 and a number. I can go in this order, 8 plus x. Number 12, the last one, m decreased by 3. This is the first one that told you the variable that you had to use, so you have to use an m. Decreased by is telling me that I have to use subtract. So m is being decreased by 3, so m minus 3.